Hello everyone, welcome back to Timberborn, to our colony of Folktails on the Spillage map. In the last video we built this beautiful automated system to deal with the bed tide or the water seep over here, so that's just wonderful. We started planting another oak forest in this area, experimented a little bit with the water seep if the water level can go any higher, and well, it seems it can't. And over here our little automation corner for the industrial buildings. We expanded the storage down here as well as the zipline network. The storage is now connected directly with the metal production up on the cliff, so very good indeed, overall looking good. Well, I was somewhat thinking, as the last couple of my videos were mostly about the automation. I mean, it's the huge new addition to the game, right? And I absolutely love it. I spent so much time discovering this, learning this, and I feel like I still just know only the basics, and you can do so much more with that. But still, I'm thinking I must not forget about the basics, which is really the water, right? And as I sort of noticed that during the temperate season, especially if the temperate season is like very short, we are not able to pump really enough water, or not able to fill up all our large water tanks. So I'm thinking of clearing a little bit of land over here and just getting another large water pump. And with that I'm going to add another large tank. Alright. So let me get some platforms in this area, and maybe I could have it there. I think that's fine. Okay, so let's prioritize removing these pines. Very well. Now I'm going to copy the large water pump. Hopefully we shall be able to fill up all our water tanks. With that we shall be able to grow the population even further, which I think is a very good idea, because especially during the temperate season, while we use so many beavers in those large water pumps, we could definitely use like more beavers. So I was sort of looking at this area, or at our housing area in general, and I'm thinking of unlocking the triple lodge. This is something we haven't built just yet, and we could have it like sitting right on top of this large warehouse. Just connect it over here, and I think that's going to look pretty neat. Like behind this I could even get some decorations, going to boost the well-being for this lodge. So like the shrub, we can have the lantern maybe over here in front, so that when they come home they can see the path or something like that, I don't know. And let's then get the scarecrow around here. Could even unlock the beaver statue. I know it's something I wanted, or I planned to have like right here next to this scarecrow, so we can do that. Let's have one there, then we can have one over here. These are very cute. Right, and for these lodges, well, I could have one like sitting on top of this lodge. It's going to be pretty nice. And maybe one in the back over here. It's not going to cover all these lodges though. Alright, let me maybe move this shrub, because we really need that to cover just these lodges, as this one in the middle is covered by the shrub over here somewhere. Right, this one. So I think I might just move this a little bit, and yeah, that's going to be better. Alright, so a couple more decorations, so the beavers are happier. And let's probably prioritize building the triple lodge. With the addition of the triple lodge, I need to adjust some settings for the population growth that I have over here. I actually have this population counter, right? And if we have less than 5 children, then the lodge is open and the beavers can reproduce more. If we have more than 5 children, it is paused, so the population kind of grows slowly. And I'm sort of thinking if I want to expand the population, I'm going to adjust this. I would say maybe like 7 children. And I'm going to automate it with another lodge like so. Because this triple lodge, it's going to give us, right, 9 free beds. Okay, I will try this setup. Maybe I'm sort of thinking of moving this population counter over here, where I have the one counting injuries, so I think we can have like a couple of similar setups around here. We can rename this to, well, children. Alright, so I will move it there and see how it goes. Okay, as the beavers continue the construction work, I would like to have a look at this corner of the map, because we need to get rid of this bed water, and I'm sort of thinking as we are in the temperate season right now, we should be able to sort of let it flow away. This is open, right? And I'm thinking like if I just open it, well, I hope that it will not contaminate the area for a long time and that it can like mix with the newly produced fresh water, and hopefully the oaks won't die. So, well, let's see. Okay, I can see some fresh water being produced. The land is sort of contaminated over here, okay, but yeah, I think this is fine. It's sort of a good... Okay, these are dying. Oh, these are dying very quickly. I don't like that. But most of these trees are fine, actually. Okay, and yeah, that died. Oh well. But in the end, it was just like a couple of trees, so that's fine. The beaver already replanted those. That's wonderful. Okay. So that somewhat worked. I kind of like how it works, like mixture of bed water and fresh water. It usually is enough if there's like a tiny little bit of fresh water, then the land is actually not contaminated. So that sort of worked, and hopefully we can just flush this bed water out of here. Now this water seep, I sort of want to copy exactly the same setup I have right here. Actually, I want to do exactly the same thing with this water seep as well. So let me just plan that. Very well, so here is the setup. Just quickly how it is done pretty much. We are using a contamination sensor to measure if there is any bed water in here, and if there is, then these floodgates are going to be closed. If there is no bed water, these floodgates are open. Then we are using a memory with the ledge function, and we say basically while B, which is the contamination sensor, is on, so while there is bed water and A happens, so that's connected to the weather station, while the temperate season starts, then these floodgates are going to open. The bed water will be flushed down this hole. We will blast this with the dynamite. And then the relay over here, it's negating the signal from this contamination sensor. So once there is no bed water, this sensor is off. That means the relay is going to turn on, and that's going to reset the memory. So the memory will be off, and that's going to close these floodgates again, and the bed water will be just flushed into this hole and sitting there, and that's it. So the same thing I can see over here, right? The bed water is flushed down there. So that's the setup, pretty much the same thing over here. I just need to blast the hole, get the automation ready, and be done with it. Now I can't really build this just yet, because of the bed water in here, and the beavers would get contaminated, and I don't like that. So I'm going to prepare these stairs, but I'm going to pause these for now. Hopefully the bed water can be cleared off very quickly, as I mean, if we get another bedside, then it would be good to have this, like, but I can see the bed water is really clearing out nicely. Okay, hopefully we can build that. We shall see. Okay, let me come back there over here. I can see the large water pump is ready. They are getting the large tank over here now. And I was sort of thinking about the water situation, that we should probably just finally start using this water seep and this water over here. So I would like to get the dam in this area. I'm kind of blast the channel through here so that we can connect these two. And I'm sort of thinking with the dam, I'm going to clear these carrots and then have it in some way as such, I would say. Right, so something like that. Although, right, I need those valves so that the water can flow. So maybe let's remove these and let's have the fill valve. A couple, yeah, I could have it like so. And in the end, I'm going to close it with a levee right there. So we can slowly start oh, and there it is. Another bedside is actually approaching. Okay, let me pause the game. Alright, so this is, well, yeah, very low priority for now, because I don't think we are going to use this for this bedside. I mean, there's a lot of work to do, and this bed water needs to evaporate, so that's very low priority. But as the bedside is approaching, I would really like to build this so that we can contain the bed water. Okay. Looking at this, I can see there still is some bed water, but I'm going to take the risk and just go there with the beavers. Okay, so let's focus on, we really need to start with that for now. That's going to allow me to contain the bed water in here, and then for the end of the bed tile we can set up the automation and whatnot. Alright, so let's try to build that. We have 3 days to do it. I think the beavers shall be able to do it. Let's see. Very well, beavers, you are the best. We managed to build like this part, which is the most important, to contain the bed water. We even got the contamination sensor, so this shall automatically close once the bed tide starts. And I got a couple of lumberjacks right here, started chopping down these trees so that we can store some logs in this small pile, and the builders don't need to travel that far to get those logs, or at least some of them, so I think that helped well. Alright then, let's wait for the bed tide. Meanwhile, I also sort of looked at this in the lodge, why isn't this built, and actually I forgot to get the beavers access down there, so we need stairs to get down. I was sort of thinking, while we are here, we could as well get another rooftop terrace, like so. So I think that's going to be pretty good. And yeah, we need to like build the shrub first so that we don't block ourselves. So let me pause these and let's build the shrub first there. Okay, and might as well just get a couple of roofs on top of these lodges so that they are covered with the bonus from the roof as well. I can see that we are lacking that a little bit. Okay, so that should help. Let's speed it up through the night, and I'm going to probably watch this sensor over here, just because this one is the new one. Bed tide started. This is on. So these floodgates shut down. Very nice. Oh, what's happening? I don't like that. Why is it flooding? Why was it overflowing? I mean, I thought the water seep wasn't supposed to do that, but alright. I guess it's because like the water was flowing rather quickly through this channel, so something to do with that. But that's alright, I mean it was just a tiny little bit of bad water, so that's okay. I think it worked as intended. That's the most important thing. We have this whole lake, plenty of water stored in here, so we shall be fine. Also, this is 15 days long, so I don't think this shall be a problem. And this one over here, yeah, this is not active just yet. It's because the lake is sort of filled with water and the water seep isn't producing that much water in general. So even last time this took like a day before any bad water appeared in here. The construction work continues. This is getting higher slowly. But to actually get the water inside and let the water flow from this water seep, we still need to plan the channel through here. So we will need stairs down there, and obviously dynamite just blasting all that. Also, we will need to remove this wall. I mean, I might as well just remove everything because this was the initial setup and the first protection from the bad water during bad tide. But right now we have these, so this is actually just not needed anymore. And let's maybe recycle and pick up all the logs over here. Alright. And I believe I will need some sort of path through here so that the beavers can reach all the dynamite. Might as well connect it there. Seems like a good idea. Okay, going to put it on a lower priority for now. It's not super necessary to do right now. But definitely for the next temperate season, I'd like this to be ready. So we will continue with that. And back over here, our new beautiful living area with the rooftop terrace, the big lodge over here. So we are up to 63 beavers actually. And I sort of removed the automation from one of the small lodges, so now only one is automated with the population counter. But I feel like I could somehow improve the automation for the population. I just didn't have really got an idea how exactly I'd like to do it. So for now, I sort of just keep an eye on this. One last thing we need to do over here to prepare for the end of the bad tide is just blasting the dynamite so that the bad water can be flushed down that hole. Back over here, I was looking at this cliff. This is something I mentioned earlier already, that the beavers, for some reason, they just love this cliff. Like in the evening, they love hanging around over here. So I was thinking maybe I could give them a real reason to come here. And I'm looking at the Agora, right? I'm going to unlock that, and I think it's going to fit like perfectly, like right on top of this cave. It's going to be like a big dominant structure on top, so I think that's going to look very good. So let's maybe create some space for that. Right, so we can have it, I think, yeah, just in the middle right there, connected as such, and then we can maybe have a path right there, even on the other side. I don't necessarily need to come over here. don't need those stairs. Alright, so the Agora, it uses extract, and we are producing that, so that's not an issue. But what I like to do with the Agora is always getting also the small tank, and I set it to basically obtain the extract right here, so that the beavers don't need to like travel all the way up here to get the extract, but it will be transferred by the haulers into this small tank, and well, while the beavers are in the Agora, they can just jump around, get some extract, and do whatever they are doing in the Agora. We shall never know. Okay, so let's build that as well. I mean, this requires 150 logs, which is a lot. So I will keep an eye on this and maybe build a half of it and pause it for some time so that I don't run out of logs completely. Okay, and one more thing I'd like to upgrade in our colony is some more automation, actually for the food production buildings, right? Because I sort of got the grill automated with one resource counter way over here, but I've set this up like in the beginning when I was just exploring and discovering all those automation buildings. So I'd like to just do it properly right now, and I'm going to use exactly the same setup that I'm using for most of the industrial buildings. So that means I need 2 resource counters and a memory. How does this work? Basically we have 2 resource counters. One is counting like if we are low on the grilled potatoes, one measures if the storage is pretty much full, and then we have the memory set with the set reset function. So the memory switches on once it detects that we are low on grilled potatoes, and then once the storage is full, it's going to reset the memory, so the memory will be turned off, and that's going to, well, pause the grill. So now I need just the grill to be automated with the memory, and that shall work perfectly fine. Okay, I'm going to connect these with the path. The resource counters, they need to be connected with the path, the memory doesn't. And now I'm basically going to do just exactly the same setup for the grist mill as well as the bakery. Alright, the automation is ready and working, as well as the Agora. So really making some nice progress over here. We even managed to plant the dynamite almost entirely, just a couple more. So this shall be really prepared for the temporary season. I might as well finish it over here, remove the path, and let's just get a couple of levees to close that. I even got another builder's hut over here, because I can see, I mean, we still have 7 unemployed beavers. I mean, the population is growing, of course, but also just the automation. Suddenly we can see that we don't really need those beavers in all, like the industry and the food production at all times. It's really helping a lot to free those beavers to do something else. So, well, I guess I might as well just get another hauling post. Alright, I will put these like as the lowest, not construction priority, the lowest workplace priority, right. Okay, along with this builder's hut, so this is really just in case we have nothing to do, and it's also the case during the bedtime because the pumpers are not there. And finally, I think it's finally time to come to this lake and set up the aquatic farmhouse. Something I wanted to do for so long. I'm sort of thinking of getting like more platforms around here, and basically having the farmhouse again nearby in the zipline station so that the beavers can access it very quickly. And then I'd like to get a couple of warehouses, I think something like that. So let me unlock the aquatic farmhouse. It can sit, well, maybe over there. And then a couple of medium warehouses. Connected with a path. So this one shall store the spider dog. And this one shall be for cattail roots. Alright. And finally, so that the beavers can get down into the lake and plant our first aquatic crops, I will get a couple of stairs, and that shall be ready for the next temperate season. I think the lake is going to evaporate very soon. Yeah, it's really low, so I'm not going to use it right now. Eventually, what I feel like we have to do is just get another dam over here, so that we can store the water for those longer droughts and just keep our crops irrigated over here. So let's maybe plan that as well, as we don't exactly have something more important to do right now, so might as well get some levees. Right, I think as such could continue to keep it straight. Alright, then this bridge, I don't think I'll need that, so that will be probably gone. Well, how large do we need the farm really? Like, my experience with this is that it doesn't need to be like that large. So I'm sort of thinking of blocking it over there. Yeah, I think this could work. So this is going to be the water reservoir to keep it irrigated. We can have like a fill valve again, a couple over there. Now here, should I use the dam or the levees? I can use those levees because from the water sieve, the water is not going to overflow, right? So that's what I'm using over here. I feel like if I use the dam, the water would keep flowing in here and then it can't go anywhere. So I definitely need levees over here, at least I believe so. But around here, I think I might try to, well, use the dam actually. And then the water can sort of overflow through there, and at least the land can be irrigated a bit more during like temperate seasons. So let's maybe do that. I don't know, maybe have the same setup even over here, just because I'm sort of thinking that it is like divided by this land, which is something I shall blast with dynamite, but it's going to take quite some time to do, so at first this might be still divided, so I'm going to do that as well, and it does not really matter. Alright, so that's going to be the setup for the aquatic farmhouse. Back over here, I'm sort of still looking at all those decorations and thinking how the beavers are doing such a good job with everything, so maybe we might as well just unlock the bulletin pole as well as the weather vane, because these are last two, well, how to call it, aesthetics that we need over here to boost the well-being. So let's maybe do that. So let's get the bulletin pole, and I'm sort of looking like right next to the Agora. It's going to cover all these lodges, so that's really good. Alright, one there, then we will need one over here. I could even squeeze it like below the double platform. That looks good. And finally, we still need to cover these lodges, so maybe, yeah, around the corner. And then the weather vane. So we could have it like there. Although I don't really want to block the beaver statue. I'm sort of thinking we could get like a bench. Maybe that's going to look more interesting. Okay, a bench there. And then the weather vane. Well, I could get it on top. Or I'm sort of thinking if I get like this roof on this triple lodge, then we could have it sitting there on top of the roof. I sort of like that. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. And then just one tiny piece of roof on top. Now we will need platforms to get over there, so okay, how do I do this? I guess I will need to use those spiral stairs again. Alright, we can get up, then let me pause this first, and that shall allow the beavers to build everything. Okay, so that's the weather vane, and then right, so this one is going to cover, well, it's really the large lodge over here. Okay, I can see that. Oh, that's fine. We can use some around here. I'm sort of thinking of getting another platform on top of the medical bed, and we could have it over there. So that's going to cover these. And alright, over here, just another double platform, and let's have it on top of that. Alright, so that's going to cover these lodges, and finally these around here. I'm sort of thinking that I should build it in the back again. Could have it on top of this large warehouse. Why not? That's going to be good. Alright. Can they reach it? I don't think so. No, they can't. Okay, so let's get like stairs going down behind the zipline station. Okay. And I could even like connect it further through there. Yeah, I sort of like that. Okay. It's going to be good. And maybe we could just get another bench right there. Okay, wonderful. And I can already see new well-being high score 26. Oh, right, that's wonderful. Yeah, it's all those aesthetics, the Agora. Alright, happy beavers. I love seeing that. Nothing to do in range. Alright, you guys are there. Let's pause you for now. We need to wait for the temperate season. The beavers already managed to build everything over here. That's crazy. I guess that's because we are having so many builders right now. Okay, then I guess let's continue with the dam over here. We shall wait for the temperate season to start. Alright, and as the bedtide is ending, let's watch the automation if it works properly. If I didn't mess up some settings and whatnot. So we shall see that once the temperate season comes back, the weather station actually way over here near our water storage is going to activate. And that's going to activate the memory over here, which means that these floodgates will open and we shall flush the bed water. Alright, and I can see it works. Okay, bed water is being flushed. Then this sensor is not detecting any bed water anymore, so that means the relay is sort of negating the signal. It's on, the memory is reset, and that means these floodgates closed, and yeah, these are open. Fresh water can come over here. So very nice indeed, works as intended. Let's check the second one as well. Alright, I can see this worked perfectly fine as well. The bed water is flushed down. Fresh water is coming. Okay, very good. And our first setup, well, we've already seen this work, but again, works perfectly fine. Everything looks good. The pumps are open again. We are pumping. Now, building this dam, we sort of ran out of logs, but luckily I can see the oaks in our new oak farm are growing. So that means we can just, well, unpause the forester, as well as, I would say, a couple of lumberjacks might be enough for now. They can store the logs over here. Right, I should also probably set this to like maybe 0.85. We shall see how that goes. And right, we can even unpause the aquatic farmhouse. And let's start planting our first aquatic crops. So spell duck, we can have that, for example, around here. On this side, I don't know, maybe like so. And then we can get cattail in this area. Something like that. Maybe let's keep this open for a path, as I feel like we might need that to build everything around here. Okay. So yeah, maybe a bit more cattail. Let's get it there then. Okay. We shall see. Hopefully that's enough. What else? Right, I wanted to blast this channel, so let's see this in action as well. Alright, let's detonate that. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, the water is flowing. Oh, that's so good to see. This is something like I wanted to do from the very beginning of the game, and I'm finally here. We can finally let the water flow and contain it in this little container. I mean, it is a very little reservoir, I have to say, but my idea is sort of to blast some more land around here and to enlarge it in this area. So let's maybe just start slowly, like planting some. Do I need the triple? Yeah, that's the triple dynamite, right? So let's maybe slowly start getting some triple dynamite around here. Why not? I will blast this slowly. Yeah, but this looks good. I mean, the water shall fill this up to a certain level, like once the water seep stops producing the water, so should be nice. That shall hopefully help, like, keep this irrigating during those longer droughts. And I am having one small mess up around here again. So basically this is starting to be flooded because I forgot to set up the fill valve properly. So once built, it seems that it's set up to like let the water flow in an unlimited way, so we need to keep this up to, I would say, the 0.85 seems like a good number usually, so hopefully this shall be closed. Right. Now I can see, unfortunately, the water is mixing with the bed water over here. I don't like that, but oh no, the automation is working again when it shouldn't be working. Okay, let's get through the night. Let's try to... this is flooding everything. What's happening? I mean, is it still like letting the water out? Wait, do I need to actually automate these valves in order for this to work? Okay, now this is interesting. I don't know. I can't tell if the water is actually like flowing through there. Okay, let's maybe watch here. Is the water level raising? Oh yes, it is. Okay, so this has to be close. Alright, so I guess I don't need to automate it. Okay, let's go a bit slower maybe. Yeah, I don't think the water is like going through the valves. It is raising, right? Yes, it is. Okay, so the valves are closed, in fact. Alright. I was a bit worried that we actually need to like automate it for it to work, but no, seems like that's good. Okay, so this just needs to settle down and evaporate. Okay, we got some bad water in our lake again. Very unfortunate. Yeah, the automation is going to be messed up a bit now. Okay, let me actually remove that for now, and I'm going to keep this closed and keep this open for now. Alright. It's not like a huge disaster, but again, something that I missed. Alright, looks better, so this shall be filling up now. And the water sieve shall stop producing the water automatically once it reaches a certain level, and I feel like we might be even at that level right now. Okay, very good then. So that's fixed, and let's probably also have a look at these, because I think that's going to be the same issue, right? I can see it here. Yeah, this is also set to unlimited. Okay, so let's keep it at the 0.85 again, as well as these. I mean, the water will just overflow. Actually, it's going to overflow through there. Okay. Again, we need to open it for now because we need to remove this bridge first. Right, the water is flowing there. Okay, let's focus on these maybe. Is it? When this shall be open, the water shall flow through here. Right, it is flowing there. Okay. Alright, so I think this is stabilizing. Once we close that, the water shall be pushed into this area and will flow through there. Very well, most of the projects I planned on doing are somewhat finished now. You can even see over here just a couple more pieces and this is finished as well. I will end the video, and I'd like to also mention about the future of this colony and this map, because the 12th of March is just around the corner, and the 12th of March is the date when Timberborn is going to officially fully release. I always planned on kind of finishing this map before the full release, and then I want to sort of start fresh with a new colony, with a new map. So this plan didn't change for me. The plan got somewhat ruined by the automation, but I mean ruined in a good way. Obviously I love the automation, it's so good, but I had to spend so much time exploring this and learning it and just discovering in general of what we can do with that. I had so much fun with that. Then again, obviously I just didn't have time to do everything I wanted to do on this map. I'm not going to close every bedwater seep as I would like to. I originally planned to get even those boards and the final monument obviously and just build everything. But that's just not happening, unfortunately. So I will make one more video. I will at least get this monument over here, in between these lodges. This is something I plan to do as well, and I think that's going to look so good. So I will do that, and I also want to sort of play with these fireworks a little bit more, make some creative setup with those to, well, I guess celebrate the end of this colony, the end on this map, and celebrate the official full release of Timberborn, I would say. That's sort of my plan for now. Okay, unfortunately, I'm not going to do everything that I would like to do, but that's really just the automation happened, and that's just life, and that's how it is. So I will start with a fresh new map once the game is officially fully released. I'm sure it will be fun to start with the automation like already from the beginning of the game. Now at least I have some sort of idea how the automation works. And I guess in the end this turned out to be like a playground or testing grounds for the automation. I'm happy I could learn the basics of it and how it works. So that's it. I will stop it here with a look at the beautiful Agora. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day and goodbye.